This all really started to come about when Mr. Burnham could not stop killing animals in our yard.
This is number 25-144. And you're Mr. Burnham?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you are the Funeys. Am I saying your name right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the Funeys are the petitioners in this case, and Mr. Burnham, you're the respondent. And Mr. Burnham, can I confirm with you that you have received the petition that was filed by the Funeys along with the notice for the court date?
Yeah, I got it all in here.
Okay, very good. And are you ready to proceed with the hearing today?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right, then I'm going to get started. I'm hearing that coming up. Just a second. I'm having a little technical issue here. All right, where did I leave off? All right, I was going to swear the parties in and let the Funeys start, and then I'll hear your response and Mr. Burnham, and then make a decision. So can I have all three of you raise your right hands, please? Do each of you swear the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. and Mrs. Funey, you are the petitioners in this case. I'll let you present your case first.
Okay. This all really started to come about when Mr. Burnham could not stop killing animals in our yard. My wife and I have witnessed him shooting animals in our yard on multiple occasions. We had to stop having contact with him. At that point, he decided we were his enemy and went to all our neighbors to slander us, saying I'm a racist, that I beat my wife. He proceeds to constantly, openly flip us off and grab his crotch. He lives right across the street from us. So when we come out in our yard, he comes out, he berates us with insults, calling my wife a whore, calling me a felon. This is on a daily basis. He is, I mean, this is just the tip of iceberg, actually. We've lived across the street from him for 20 years, and we've been trying to avoid any conflict with our neighbors and trying to keep peace in the neighborhood. And under the direction of the sheriffs and my attorney, I'm here today to get a restraining order. Mr. Burnham decided that he would come out at 5 a.m. in the morning in the dark to intimidate my wife 4 days in a row. At 5 in the morning, he stood on the corner of his property where my wife has to pull up to the stop sign, flipping her off 2 days in a row. I installed cameras to catch that. And then he went out there in the same spot and put up a sign that said whore. And immediately after she passed, he took the sign down. I told my other neighbor that we're all on a corner here at the stop sign about it. And she came out and she also witnessed him do that, put the sign out and then take it down right after she passed. He thinks his First Amendment rights allows him to invoke violence and provoke people. And I think the court knows that's not the case. And I would like them to grant this restraining order to protect myself and my wife, because we are in fear of our lives. Not only does he have weapons, but he has used them.
All right. And Mrs. Funey, would you like to say anything?
Yes.
Add anything?
He's intimidating my family. He yells and tells the people that walk by that we're a racist. I feel like I have to have my phone on record when I'm leaving to go to work every morning. He is continuously harassed. There's not much more than what my husband has said that I absolutely fully agree with 100%.
And even with
He has a problem with authority. He disrespects authority. I just want to live in my home or in my yard with peace, be able to do my yard work without hearing him yell whore from across the street, talking to people that walk by, yelling whore, calling us racist. And I want it to stop. That's all I have to say, Your Honor.
I'd like to add that after he was served a restraining order, he had no problem disrespecting the court and breaking the restraining order every day since.
Yeah.
We have video footage. We didn't get a chance to submit it, but we do have it. Every day, berating us, saying whatever he wants.
All right, before I hear from Mr. Vernum, is there anything you feel like you left out or anything you need
I
to?
do want to add one more thing. The day that he shot at a cat that was in my driveway, it did damage my garage door, and my kitchen window is 2 to 3 feet from that garage door. So every time I do dishes, I feel like I have to keep an eye out to make sure that the shooting doesn't happen again and I get shot.
Okay, Mr. Vernum, I'm gonna turn it over to you to tell me your side of it before I make a
Your Honor, did you
decision.
see this? Okay, I got a sign I made in 14 and hung in 15. I've been hanging them since. I got a witness here that's done that. First of all, if I may approach the bench, I have witness statements here on things. I'd like the court to read these today, please.
Are these things that you've filed in the court file yet?
I just got this Friday, Your Honor.
Okay.
One of these is where he threatened to pull a gun on an African-American in front of my house the other day. One of these is where an 86-year-old neighbor of mine stopped in front of his house. He called her a whore. This is where this whore thing started, Your Honor. And he come out and he chest butted me 3 times in front of this woman, and I was trying to protect her. I've been making Trump signs and I hate Democrats. That's what this is all about for me. This man come in, when he moved into our neighborhood the first week, it was a Friday at 6:30, I heard yelling in my garage. And I just got my son out of rehab because my daughter had just been butchered. 19 times she was stabbed. And he started drinking and he wanted to fight. This hand right here is broke because I slammed it into the wall, so I didn't have to fight my son. I can't do much with this hand. It's deformed. In October 13th, after my son had killed himself, 7 years after, 10 years, 8 months, 4 days, and 7.5 hours after his sister, this man came over to my house. I'd been in the hospital prior, and the doctors told me to quit taking the medication group death was giving me. It was killing my gut. So I started smoking pot. I hadn't smoked it since the 80s. And I was getting it from a friend of my son's that I've known. This guy sells pot. So he told me when we were kind of friends that I could buy it from him. One day he found out that I was buying pot from my friend Josh, and he come over, and that's why this arm's bad. He ripped this arm out of the socket. I went to get the phone. I went to call 911. He grabbed the phone out of my hand and crushed this and slammed the phone and threw me on the ground. He broke my false teeth. I had to glue this up here. I went to Sybil's house to use her phone. She wasn't there. When I came home, he was gone. 2 minutes later, his woman is on her knees begging me not to call the law on him. Begging me, please don't. Because he's a felon, Your Honor. I don't have a criminal record. I've never been in trouble. I'm 68 years old. I got a harassment order on me from a lie from some punk in my neighborhood that pulled a gun on me. Now, I told him after the incident where he ripped my arm out, I tried appeasing him. And then one day he come over and he wanted to know if he could use my backyard to park cars because he works on cars. So I let him. And then I find out that he's being audited by the Department of Revenue where I work. And he wanted me to talk to one of my revenue employee friends to see if we could get this thing dismissed. And I told him to get off my property, and I haven't spoke to him since 2020, January. And as he left my yard with his trailer, he ran my gate over and never even offered. Now, I did shoot a cat in the yard. It killed 3 of my birds. And I apologized to him. I said, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. And I'll pay for any damages. And nothing was up. This was years ago. Now, I'm making signs and I'm going home. I dislike Democrats. I put them up for all politicians. And I can go home and make a sign that says your name on it, Judge, because you're a public figure. I do it. This is what I've been doing. I wish you would really read this where she put in here about him threatening an African-American a few weeks ago. I saw this. He threatened him with a gun and called him the N-word. My great-great-grandmother was African, and I'm proud of that. I have Lakota Sioux and Apache blood in me. And this guy is a racist. I know you won't read this?
You can bring them up and give them to the clerk.
You won't read it.
No, I'm gonna take a look at it.
Now, I've lived in my house 46 years. I'm going to be going on my 47th. I'm dying right now because of what happened to my children. And I don't really care if I die. I've lost my immune system shot. That's why my teeth fell out. In 2006, and he was part of this, two of my other neighbors got together and got a harassment order or something and lied about my daughter's dog, said it was killing other animals, and he was part of this. And they all split and they lied. They all lied. And I'm still living here. They're all gone. He's turning my neighbors against me. My neighbor Sybil, who he was talking about, I do carpentry work. That's what I do. I fix things. And this is what they bought me 2 years ago when I fixed kitchen cabinets for them that they couldn't find. And now this woman that gave me this shirt, he's turned against me. Her husband is one of the ones that lied and had my daughter's dog killed, murdered, as I say it. And you see, I had all my neighbors backing me then. I got nobody backing me now except Marie. Marie knows me. She's known me since 15. We're just friends. My other neighbor that he's talking about, that Sybil, I've been mowing her lawn for 15 plus years. And now I can't mow it. I've been putting my garbage in her garbage. I can't put my garbage in there anymore. So the other month and a half ago, I went to my friend Brian, who I've known for 60 years. And he said, yeah, put your garbage in there, no problem. Saturday, I went to get him to come to court here, and he was going to go with me. An hour and a half later, he told me, get the F off my property. I never want to see. This is a man I've known for 60 years. And now all of a sudden, he doesn't want me around. That doesn't make sense, Your Honor. This guy scares people. He threatens them. He's threatened me. He did this to my arm, Your Honor. I mean, I heard it as an L&I accident on November 3rd of 13, and it was almost healed up. I can't ride my bike. I can't do nothing because of this and this. I have 3 collapsed discs. I have what they call IBS. Do you know what that is, Your Honor?
I do.
And I have a bacterial infection in my intestine that has put me in the hospital many times. And there's no cure for it except death. And right now it's going crazy on me. My prostrate is double the size of what a normal prostrate is. And they're giving me medication for that too. But it's not working because of what this guy's doing. I have, like I did to Judge Buckley in 6, I'm using my First Amendment right to make signs. I do not use anybody's name. And as far as standing out in front of my yard, I go out at 4 or 5 in the morning to move my truck out of my driveway because my house has been hit 7 times because of this. My garage door bashed in, my truck bashed in, and all my signs taken. Marie can tell you that. So I protect my truck, but I go out in the morning because that's the best time to look at the dippers right in front of my house, right above my front door. And that's what my children and I used to do when they were little. And that's what brings me in touch with my children, if that makes any sense to you. But as far as harassing them, no, I don't talk to them. I haven't spoken. They sit in their kitchen window and do this. I can't whistle right now. And they make little cat calls. I clean my yard up. I do my flowers almost every day, weed. And they sit there and they make all these noises at me. And then when I go to Rachel and Dave's house, they stand there and they go, why are you still living here? Nobody loves you. And you know what that is a reference to, Your Honor? He's making fun of my dead children. But I didn't do nothing. I never said nothing. And I'm going on the First Amendment. That's what I'm doing in my front yard, is my First Amendment right to express myself without any violence at all. No violence. This guy's the violent one. This guy. He's Yeah, I mean, look at his, I mean, when I had Fred pull his rap sheet in February in 04, I couldn't believe what he had been in trouble for. I mean, this guy's a psycho. He doesn't care about anybody else. He chased a kid one day that rode his bicycle through his yard. The kid fell off his bike, got road burns. 5 minutes later, this big burly man in army fatigues came up. And a bunch of these little kids, and he used the N-word because his kids were white and black in front of this guy and pissed him off. And this guy picked up a rock the size of his hat and was going to throw it at Dan. And I spoke up and said, I can't believe you're doing this. And I had to speak up for him because it was wrong what the GI was doing, going to throw the rock at him. This guy uses the N-word like it's his vocabulary. And he don't care about hurting anybody. It's ludicrous. Like I said, I've lived 46 years in my house. Both my kids are dead and you don't have, there's nothing, I haven't been violent towards anybody. In 1990, I was kicked out for molesting my kids because my wife got tied up with some jerk out of California. Somebody like him, a felon. And I won my kids. I fought and raised them by myself until my daughter was murdered, and then everything just fell apart. Everything. And I tried with my son to keep him alive. I tried and I tried, but he blew his brains out. And that's all I've got to say. You guys are probably going to, I'm going on the First Amendment, Your Honor. That's all I got to say.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burnham. Okay, well, Mr. Burnham, I want
Marie,
you
would you
to,
like to speak for me? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I just want to know, I've known him all those years and we've never had any issues or anything, you know, he's always been courteous to me and, you know, nothing. And we're just friends. I live down the road from him
thank
with
you,
my
ma'am.
daughter.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Is that good?
All right. Mr. Burnham, there's not going to be any decision made that's based on your signs. There's nothing about that that affects the decision that I make regarding this. It's my scope of a decision here. Doesn't have anything to do with your politics or anything to do with the signs you make or how you.
That's what this is
express your
about. It
political
depreciates the value of his house, he tells everybody, Your
Yeah.
Honor.
Yeah, Mr. Burnham, at this point in the case, this is where I speak and where I
I'm
tell you
sorry.
my decision, and I expect to not be
I
interrupted.
apologize.
Thank you, sir. Right, so in this case, it's clear to me at least by preponderance of the evidence that there has been harassment going on, that Mr. Burnham has repeatedly over a course of time contacted especially Mrs. Funey with the express purpose of alarming, harassing, intimidating, and annoying her. And it is manifestly obvious that it's had a reasonable effect on her, or it's had an effect on her that is reasonable.
My signs don't quit.
But-
You can give me a restraining order if you want. You do it all. I don't care. I'm going home and I'm doing it democratically, okay? I didn't touch this woman and I never said a word to her.
Mr. Burnham, if,
She calls me an old man.
Mr. Burnham, you're out of order here. If you leave the courtroom, that's not going to prevent the effectiveness of this order.
Well, I take medication and like I told her this morning,
Mr. Burnham,
I will
have a seat, just have a seat and wait until I get this order done. We'll make a copy for you and then you can go. I will make a copy of this order for both parties and then you can both be on your way.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome.